My mother kicked me out for her new family, then demanded college money for my siblings when she found out I'm successful now. Growing up, it was just me and my mom for the longest time. My dad passed away when I was little, and while we struggled, we always had each other. At least, that's what I thought. Then, when I was 16, she met Greg. Greg had 2 younger kids from a previous marriage, and my mom threw herself into her new role as their stepmother. At first, I was happy for her. I wanted her to be happy, but slowly, I started feeling like an outsider in my own home. The shift was subtle at first. My mom started missing my school events but made it to every single one of my step-siblings. She stopped asking about my day and instead only talked about Greg and his kids. Then, she started expecting me to give up things for them. My bedroom? Given to Greg's youngest. I was moved to the tiny guest room. My savings? Suddenly I was expected to share with my new siblings. My time? Babysitting duty. Whether I wanted to or not. The final straw came when Greg flat out told me I wasn't really part of his family, but just a leftover from my mom's past. I told my mom. She said nothing. A week later, they sat me down and told me that since I was 18 now, it was time for me to be independent. They kicked me out. I was heartbroken, but I had no choice. I scraped by, couch surfing, working minimum wage jobs, and barely keeping up with community college. I cut off all contact with my mother. No calls, no texts, nothing. But I worked hard. I transferred to a top university on scholarships and landed an amazing job in tech. Fast forward a few years, and I was making 6 figures. I finally had stability. Then, out of nowhere, my mother reached out. At first, I thought maybe she regretted what she did. Maybe she wanted to reconnect. Nope. She didn't even ask how I was doing. Instead, she immediately started talking about how tough things were financially for Greg and how my step-siblings were struggling to afford college. Then she dropped this gem. Since you're successful now, it's only fair that you help your family. Excuse me, my family? The same family that threw me away like garbage? The same family that let me struggle alone while they played happy household? She demanded that I pay for my step-siblings' tuition, calling it my responsibility. When I refused, she lost it. She called me selfish, ungrateful, heartless. I simply told her, you made it clear years ago that I wasn't part of your family. So now, you're not part of mine. And then I blocked her. My mother tried reaching out through relatives, playing the victim. She told them I abandoned her after everything she did for me. But the people who actually knew the truth, they sided with me. It felt so good to finally stand up for myself. She made her choice years ago. And now, I've made mine.